Okay, so box and whisker plots are what we're doing new this week. It's not new because you've seen it before, but it's new for AFM. And so the very first thing you need to do is rearrange your numbers from least to greatest. That is on every single problem. If you do not do that, you will not have your information correct. So please, 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 no shortcuts. So, 1, and of course I mark mine out. 2, next we have 4, we have 8, 12, 13, and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as you see, I like to go back and count to make sure I got all my numbers. So now that they are in order from least to greatest, you're going to draw your box and whiskers chart. Because from here, we're going to do our 5 number summary, which is pretty much finding our inner quartile range. Simply saying this number, your lower quartile, which is always going to be your lowest number, okay? So your lowest number is always your Q1, and that's simply 1. Your number out here is always going to be your highest number, which is also called your Q5 or your upper quartile, which is 20. So immediately off the bat, your smallest number's here, your biggest number's here. The next thing you have to do is find your median for your information, which is your number that's going to fall in the middle. Because we have an odd number, that's not going to be that hard. So I always cover up the 2 on the end and then work my way inside. 8 is my number in the middle, so 8 is my median. Okay? Again, all I did was work my way in. I started at the end and came in, which left me with 8 in the middle by itself. So you have your Q1, your Q3, your Q5. The only thing left to do is find your Q2, which means now you're going to come to the left side of your median and find the number in the middle there. Because we have 3 numbers over here, again, it's simple. So your number in the middle is 2. So 2 is your Q2. Then you do the same thing for Q4. What is your number in the middle over here? Well, we only have 3 numbers, so obviously 13 is in your middle. So 13 is your Q4. These 5 numbers make up your 5 number summary. Okay? So what if we had an even number? Let's say 10, 8, 8, 4, 3, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 15. Okay? So, let's arrange these numbers in order. So we'll start with 3, 4, 8, and then we have another 8. Then we have 9, 10, 12, and 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So, our Q1 is 3 because it's our smallest. Q5 is 15 because it's our biggest. Okay? Again, those are understood. So now that we have an even number, we have to figure out our median. So, start on the outside like we did before. Work our way in. And then we see that these two are in the middle, 8 and 9. So, because those two are in the middle, you're just going to do 8 plus 9 and divide it by 2. And you'll get 8.5. So 8.5 is your median. Okay, again, because these two are in the middle together, you do 8 plus 9 divided by 2. And 8.5 is now your median. Then you do Q2. Well, it works out good this time because you still have 1 in the middle. If you were to have 2 in the middle, you would do the same thing. But in this case, we don't. So 4 is your Q2. 12 is your Q4. And that is how you create your box and whisker plot. Just take your data, put it in order from least to greatest, fill it in on your plot. Simple. Again, make sure you add these two and divide them if you have 2 in the middle. For example, 1, we only had 1 in the middle. So it just depends on how many numbers are in your data set, and then you go from there.